So what's my journey? What's the point? What's the purpose? How did it start? The catalyst for it all was being really disappointed in myself because I'd planned to run in the New York City Marathon, and I was doing quite well with my training up until the Tour de France, where I was leading a tour group, and the hours were such that to find time to train just wasn't happening. So it was a couple of weeks without training, and then when I got back I was experiencing certain injuries, so I needed to take a week off for that. And then I got an issue with my heel that wasn't healing. I had a crack, and so another setback, and my training kept getting delayed, like week by week, day by day, and then I lost the dream, and I thought, I'm not going to make it. I don't have enough training in my legs. I don't have enough to get there. I'm not going to. And then when I lost that dream, my heart just felt so deflated, and I was so upset with myself, and I just couldn't let it go either. And I said, well, how? And then the other thing was that I still hadn't done anything to raise money, because for me to have got a place in this year's New York Marathon, I made a pledge to a charity called Run for Kids. And I thought that was really appropriate because I'd written a children's book, and I thought, children, and I've not had my own children, not by choice, so it just kind of all fit, to raise money for these children, and I just felt a calling, and so I signed up, and I've made this pledge, and I've got to the point where I've got less than 2 months to the marathon, and I don't feel I've done enough training, and I haven't raised enough. Well, I haven't raised any money yet. I don't even have enough money to buy a plane ticket, really. Well, I could just be on credit, I suppose. I don't know, it just all became really overwhelming, and then I was trying to get out of it, and I thought I should ring them and see if I can get out of it, and then I thought, well, I've taken someone else's spot, that's not right, and I just had this horrible turmoil. And so then I came up with this idea that, well, maybe if I just started training every day, doing long distance, but starting off just by walking, and then, some days I might run for 20 minutes, and then another day I might run for half an hour, and then 40 minutes, and then I just thought over each day I would eventually get to, walking the marathon distance, running the marathon distance by the time I got to New York. And then I thought, well, maybe I could do it as a fundraiser, because when I produced my books, I produced about 8,000 too many, thereabouts. That's another story. I'll send you a link somewhere about all of that. But anyway, I don't know how many books I've got left. I just know I've got loads of boxes of books. And I said, well, what I'll do is I'll go on a fundraising walk, and I'll walk to Brisbane was my first thought. I thought, yeah. And then I looked at it and I go, oh my God, that's a bit much. Maybe I'll just walk to Sydney. And then I thought, oh my God, that's a bit much. Mentally couldn't fathom that. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll just walk to Shepparton, which is a couple of days walk away. And then I thought, even that was too much. And I thought, you know what I'll do? I wanted to start today on September 11 because of the 10-year anniversary of what happened, and that I'm going to New York, and it's such a big moment in New York. I felt really connected to do that. And it's also kind of really symbolic, I think, because, I create my own torture and my own pain with my own thoughts, really. Often it's about what I think of myself, and that I don't feel I ever do what I really want to do from my heart. And what I do, I know that I do well, but there's something in my heart I want to do more, and I'm too afraid to do the really big, scary things. So I thought, well, if I create something really big and scary, maybe what I'm scared about won't seem so scary. And then I thought, this could be quite a torturous journey. I can't imagine. I couldn't get a driver. So I had this crazy idea that I'd get a van and I'd fill it up with my books, and I'd just keep walking until I sold all my books. And then I thought, well, I know that if I sell all my books, I'll have enough money to buy my tickets, to pay for accommodation, to fulfill my pledge for the charity that I've already pledged to. And I thought, yeah, that's what I'll do. Oh my God. And you know, I still am really overwhelmed by the idea. And then I felt stopped because I couldn't get anyone to drive the van, and I just thought, you know what, I think I'm just going to start. I'll just start, and I think that maybe taking the first steps will be enough to maybe bring people on board. Maybe I can get a driver that's going to drive the van in sections, so from town to town. I can't imagine I'd be doing more than 40 or 50 kilometres, maybe 60, I don't know, in a day. I have no idea. So today, I guess, is my first run. I'm actually walking from the Shrine of Remembrance, which is in the CBD of Melbourne, and I'm heading towards the direction of Sydney. And funnily enough, my house is along the way, about 20-25 k's along the road. So this will be my litmus test, I guess. I'll get home, I'll figure out what I need to take, because I'm going to be doing it solo for the first few days at least, until we get a vehicle. And then I even have to get the vehicle. So it's all a bit strange. I don't know how it's going to work, but I think the biggest thing for me, it's about having faith and taking those first steps. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, this is a long one. Sorry guys, you'll be seeing a lot of me if you're going to be following my journey. I'm hoping it's not all going to be heavy duty. I'm sure there'll be some funny moments and some challenging moments, and yeah, just feeling a little bit crazy at the moment. I'm feeling what I'm doing is a little bit insane, and it's not. Surely it's not. I don't know. I'll see. Oh look, do you see my poodles? Yeah. I'll tell you more about the poodles later, but yeah, it's the title of my book, but that's another story. We'll get to that later. I just need to keep walking. My feet are frozen, like I've been walking in the rain. I've got my Vibrams on, I don't know if you can see them. I don't know if that worked, but anyway. Yeah, my toes are like icicles. It's really cold. And today I'm actually just going to walk. I'm not even running yet. I've got a long way before I get that. So, you know, I feel like that Talking Head song, We're on the Road to Nowhere. Well, I know that I'm heading in the direction of sort of towards Sydney, and I think that if I've still got books by the time I get to Sydney, I'll probably have to just keep going. It's the only way I can see that I can fit in training, the sufficient training, and getting the strength and power in my legs, I suppose. Talk about doing a marathon. Anyway, that's it for now. This is a stupidly long post. Really sorry guys. I'll cut it off. I think I must be rambling. All right, ciao.